You ever wake up to the sound of metal screaming, like really screaming, and realize it's your snowplow out there getting destroyed? Yeah, that was my Tuesday. I roll out of bed, peer through the blinds, and what do I see? My $15,000 plow. My livelihood getting the business end of a sledgehammer right in my own driveway. Hydraulic lines, snap windows, burst steel bends, and standing out there in her signature North Face, and that smug "I own you" smile, Vivian Ashworth, president of the HOA. Arms crossed, looking like she just hit the HOA jackpot. Let me tell you, that wasn't the first time Vivian came for me, oh no. For months she'd been coming after me with fines for parking my plow in my own damn driveway. $50, then $100, then $500, always with these letters about commercial vehicles and community standards. That plow's been parked there for 15 years before half these McMansions existed, before her fancy white Tesla was even a sparkle in Elon Musk's eye. But Vivian didn't care. She wanted the place to look like one of those real estate magazines, perfect lawns, no work trucks, nothing to remind her how much regular people's work made her life possible. And here's the delicious twist: none of these people, including Vivian, have a prayer come winter without me. I'm the guy who keeps these roads clear. Without me, they're snowed in. Their luxury SUVs become the world's most expensive lawn ornaments, driveways turn into ice rinks, and their million-dollar castles become little snowy prisons. What would you do if your HOA wrecked your business because your plow made the neighborhood look less upscale? Yeah, exactly. I guess to understand how we got here, you gotta know a little about me. I'm Garrett Holbrook, and snow's been my family business since before I could even reach the brake pedal. Grandpa Joe started it back in 1970, back when this place was more dirt road than anything else. You'd hear our truck start at 4:30 in the morning, diesel grumbling through the pines, mixing with that cold, sharp mountain air. Even now, I still remember what that felt like: cold leather wheel burning your hands through your gloves, lungs stinging from the air, Grandpa beside me pointing out which driveways needed extra salt, who always left coffee on the porch for us, who'd wave from the window. We're not just moving snow, Garrett, he'd say, breath visible in the headlights. We're keeping the community alive. That was the code. After my divorce, this work became more than just a job. I got 2 kids, Emma fierce as any blizzard at 16 and Tyler 14, already running the small plow when I let him. We live in the same house my grandpa bought back in '74. Not much, but it's ours, paid off solid, full of memories. The neighborhood used to feel that way too. Teachers, small business owners, people who'd bring soup during a long storm shift, folks who understood this wasn't glamorous work, but that it mattered. But lately, half the houses belong to tech execs from California, folks who see a property value where I see a neighbor. They want the roads cleared, sure, but they don't want to see the guy who does it. That's where Vivian comes in. Vivian Ashworth retired. Tech bigwig, moved here 3 years back, HOA president within 12 months. Drives a white Tesla so clean you could perform surgery on it. In 3 years, she's never once waved, never even said thanks. Hell, I don't think she's ever looked me in the eye. But she notices every single thing, especially if it doesn't fit her vision. Everything started snowballing after that monster February storm. 2 feet of powder wind, howling temps so low your teeth hurt. I worked 14 hours straight every driveway, every sidewalk, checked on every elderly neighbor myself. Parked my truck in my own driveway like always. Next morning, I find a ticket under my wiper, $50 for violating Section 12.7b, something about commercial vehicles. I nearly laughed. This truck's been here longer than most of these houses. And yet here's Vivian handwriting a note about maintaining neighborhood aesthetics. Translation: people like you don't belong. I paid the $50. Big mistake. Entitled bullies don't stop when you feed them. They get hungry for more. 2 weeks later, the fine doubles, $100, same violation. Now it's relocate immediately or face escalating penalties. Vivian's not just coming after me, she's making it personal. But here's where she screwed up. She called an emergency HOA meeting, conveniently forgot to invite me, but Dorothy Kellerman, 83, sharp as a tack, slipped me a copy of the agenda. Garrett, you need to see this. That woman's cooking up something rotten. So Thursday night, I walk into the community center. Place smells like old coffee and fresh ambition. 30 neighbors in folding chairs, fluorescent lights buzzing, everyone nervous. Vivian's at the podium with a full PowerPoint, naturally showing photos of perfectly manicured neighborhoods, not a work truck in sight. She proposes new rules: all commercial vehicles, regardless of size, off property at all times. Fines $200 a day. And the best part, Her husband, Lawrence City Councilman, did the legal homework, so it's not targeting anyone by name. Except, of course, it only affects me. And most of my neighbors, look, they're good people, but nobody wants to go up against the HOA president over a parking rule. That's when I remembered what Grandpa taught me: always read the fine print. Always. I stood up, voice shaking a little, I won't lie, and said, "Point of order." Room goes dead silent. I pull out the original contract signed by my grandpa in 1970, back before there even was an HOA. Turns out it guarantees my right to keep equipment on my property. Grandfathered, they call it. The board members start reading it, faces going red. Lawrence chokes on his coffee. Vivian, her smile starting to crack. "We'll need our legal counsel to review these documents," she says, cold as ice. "Absolutely," I reply. "Meanwhile, I trust this harassment campaign will pause pending review." I'll never forget that feeling. My neighbors nodding. Lawrence shifting in his seat. After the meeting, people started coming up. Dorothy, Tom Martinez, Sarah Smith, the Hendersons. Turns out Vivian had been targeting other working families too. The Johnsons, the Kellys, anyone who didn't fit her country club fantasy. That night, sitting at my kitchen table surrounded by old contracts, I realized this wasn't just about me. Vivian was trying to gentrify the neighborhood one citation at a time. But now I had proof. Preparation beats power every time. 3 days later, 7 a.m., phone rings. "Inspector Rodriguez, City Code Enforcement. We've had complaints about industrial activity on your property. Inspection today." Yeah, right. I could smell Vivian's perfume all over that one. Noise violations, air quality, potential zoning infractions. It was a laundry list. Rodriguez shows up on the worst possible day every plow I own's getting serviced. He measures noise checks, emissions, photographs, everything. This modified exhaust system doesn't meet code. That's a $500 fine, all operations suspended till compliance. For a moment, it felt like she'd won. My world started spinning: mortgage bills, kids, all of it hanging on a technicality. But you know what you do when the city comes knocking? You dig. I spent that night cross-referencing municipal codes till my eyes blurred. And there it was. The code he cited only applies to business districts. Home-based contractors are exempt. He either made a mistake or more likely he was in on the game. I filed complaints with the city, the state contractor board, hell, even Channel 7 News got involved after Dorothy's network spread the word. Then came the twist. Turns out Rodriguez had a side hustle selling filtration systems to contractors he fined. He'd hit 3 others with the same fake violations. Local news aired the story. City started an ethics investigation. Rodriguez got suspended, my fines got tossed, and the city sent a formal apology. Vivian. She doubled down, started getting weird. One night, my security cameras caught someone sneaking around cutting my truck's tires. Next day, Dorothy's grandson overheard Blake Ashworth, Vivian's grown son, still living at home, bragging at Murphy's bar about teaching the snow guy a lesson. My gut said call the cops, but Dorothy's friend Hamilton, an old attorney, said let them keep escalating, catch them on something big. And boy, did they. Next night, security footage shows Blake and his idiot friends smashing up my backup plow with baseball bats. $20,000 in damage, all recorded sound video, the works. And here's the kicker: Blake's friend filmed it for Instagram. Posted it with my address and captions like "teaching losers lessons." By morning, the evidence was all over the internet. Digital karma, right? I documented everything: photos, videos, timeline. Hamilton helped me build a criminal case tight enough to hang a snowman. But I didn't stop there. I started connecting dots. Vivian's campaign wasn't about parking. She was covering up something bigger. And Hamilton, God bless him, found it $47,000 missing from the HOA fund, all paid to a fake landscaping company run by Vivian's sister. Phantom invoices for snow removal services that never happened. She was stealing from the community the whole time she was trying to run me out. And remember that contract Grandpa signed? She never legally canceled it, which means interest and back pay, $89,000 owed to my family. That number hit like a snowball to the face. It would cover the damage, the kids' college, everything. But before we took her down, we needed to set the trap. Dorothy's network spread word of an emergency safety meeting. Vivian was planning to use it to ban my services once and for all, armed with fake environmental reports, city inspectors, the works. What she didn't know was that Hamilton and I had copies of everything: bank records, fake invoices, video evidence, even her own handwritten notes about eliminating snow contract before May audit. We made sure everything was backed up in 3 places. I even left my destroyed plow in the driveway for her to photograph. Looked dead, but secretly we'd already fixed it. Friday night, the community center was packed. Vivian at the podium running her mouth about critical infrastructure concerns, flashing slides of my dangerous equipment. She introduces Inspector Rodriguez, temporarily reinstated by her husband naturally to confirm her fake data. That's when I stood up. Point of order, Madam President. The room goes silent. Hamilton rises, briefcase in hand. This community deserves to know the truth. We connect my laptop to her projector. Slide 1, bank statement showing $47,000 in fake payments. Slide 2, business registration proving her landscaping company doesn't exist. Slide 3, video of Blake smashing up my plow, audio and all. This will teach that blue-collar piece of shit. Mom says people like him are ruining the neighborhood. The room erupts. Rodriguez tries to slip out the back. Vivian calls us liars. Then I start my plow right outside the window, diesel roaring, lights on, working perfectly. Her non-functional equipment running like new. The mic drop. Hamilton walks up, waves legal documents. We're pressing charges for fraud, conspiracy, attempted bribery. Did I mention the envelope of hush money she sent? Yeah, that's evidence too. Saturday morning, Vivian resigns. House on the market by Monday. Charges pending. Blake gets community service working snow removal under my supervision. The board, now run by Dorothy, restores Grandpa's contract, back pay and all. And we use settlement money to set up scholarships for local kids pursuing trades. Emma gives a speech. Tyler demonstrates the plow. Every February now, the neighborhood holds the Winter Heroes Festival. Postal workers, first responders, plow drivers, everybody gets the recognition they deserve. The community's stronger, more honest, more real. Funny thing, sometimes the people who try the hardest to push you out end up making you stronger, rooting you deeper. Vivian thought she could erase people like me to make her own version of perfection. All she did was show everyone what actually matters. You know, the moment that stuck with me wasn't the $89,000, wasn't even seeing Vivian get arrested in front of everyone, though. Trust me, that was satisfying. It was watching those security cameras while Blake went to town on my equipment and just letting him. Knowing every swing was digging the hole deeper. Sometimes the big win is letting your enemies destroy themselves one bad choice at a time. So let me ask you, who's really essential in your neighborhood? Is it the people in the boardroom or the folks who show up before dawn to keep things running? Because when it all goes sideways, you're not calling the HOA, you're calling Garrett. If this story makes you think about your own neighborhood, hit that like, subscribe for more stories of regular folks beating the system, and drop a comment. Who's the most essential person where you live? The one everyone takes for granted. Because I'll tell you this, the people who keep the world turning aren't sitting at the meeting table. They're out there in the cold, making sure you can get to work when the snow falls.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.